Hey guys, welcome back to Adventures in Aviators. It's Jason and Michelle. And if you're new, hey, subscribe right there. We have a whole series of videos helping you explore this amazing world. Today we're talking about Arches National Park near Moab, Utah. This is in eastern Utah, an absolutely amazing part of the United States.
In order to enter the park, there's a fee. It's $30. Some parks have $20 or $30 fees, somewhere in that range, but you can also buy an annual pass, which is $80. And that's what we did for our tour of this series of parks, and it's a pretty good deal. It saves you some money. So Arches National Park has one primary road and it goes through the entire park. So it is a beautiful drive to go and see all of these ridges and arches that are along this path. There's tons of little offshoots of where you can stop and park, but there's 3 primary locations, and we're going to kind of break those down and talk about each of those.
The first is the Windows and Double Arch area, and this is a really easy hike for anyone of all levels, and it's especially beautiful in the evening. When the evening sun hits it, these rocks light up, and it's a great photo opportunity.
The second one, you make your way a little bit further, and this is the one that the park is famous for, and it's called the Delicate Arch. And if you've seen it, you probably recognize it because it is gorgeous. It's a standalone arch. So just keep in mind that to get to this one that is the most well-renowned one, it does take a decent amount of effort and a decent amount of fitness in order to get there. And it takes a little bit of effort to get to because there's a lot of elevation gain, and it will probably take you around 3 hours to complete the hike. The best time of day to go to that one is actually in the late afternoon, is what is suggested. We went about mid-afternoon and it was still quite beautiful. Some people get up really early to go see the sunrise, but there are definitely some odd shadows in the morning if you go early, although it is also much cooler in the morning.
The final area is towards Landscape Arch, and this is actually a big loop trail. It's one of the longest trails in the park. I believe it's 6 miles if you go round trip. However, you can make shorter stops, but all told there's about 5 or 6 really big arches in this area. If you were going to do one in the morning, this is probably our recommendation for a morning hike because it's cooler, and the lighting still looks really nice on a lot of these arches in the early morning hours. The path isn't especially difficult over by Landscape Arch, but it is long, and you definitely want to bring water and all of those supplies with you as it is a part of a day trek. It's a significant hike. One really nice thing about Arches National Park is that it's very close to Moab, Utah, which is probably where you're going to be staying when you're visiting this park. It's only about 5 minutes north of town, which makes it great for sunrise pictures or sunset pictures, just to get up there really early from wherever you're staying. It's also really close, about 30 miles away from the Island in the Sky, which is part of Canyonlands National Park. We're going to talk about that in another video, but you can easily do Island in the Sky and Arches National Park in the same day because of their proximity.
So Moab has a small town, and they have plenty of hotels there because pretty much Moab exists for these national parks. And there's touristy prices there, but there's also plenty of fast food restaurants and motels that you can stay in that are a little bit on the cheaper end. They're not the nicest place you've ever stayed, but it gets the job done. We were usually Airbnb goers, but there were not very many Airbnb options, so we did just rent a hotel room in the area.
So this was Michelle's first time to Arches National Park. Michelle, what was your favorite part of the park?
It's a really good question because the whole place was stinking gorgeous. But probably my favorite area was the windows area. It was really easy to get to. There was quite a few different arches to explore, including the double arch. The double arch is wicked cool. It's a little bit terrifying to go up and climb up around in it, but it was awesome. I think if we were to do this again next time, I would actually want to spend another day because the morning sunrise and the evening sunsets are so cool that it's almost worth getting to watch it a couple times. So I think if we were to do it again, I would want to stay another day just for the morning and evening sunsets and sunrises.
If you roll into town a little bit late, but it's before sunset, run into the park and get some pictures and then go actually do the park the next day. That's actually what we did for that exact reason, and the pictures are going to pay off in the long run.
Hey, we hope you learned a little something about Arches National Park. And if you have any thoughts, suggestions, or any other ideas to share, put them in the comments. We'd love to hear what you have to say, and we'll see you out there. So you two.
Nailed it! Hey, thanks so much for... No, it's gonna work, it's gonna work. Okay, ready?
No.
Good job. Thanks. Okay, but when I say put it in the comments, then we both gotta do this together, okay?
No.
Yes, do it. Okay.